Hey everybody, it is Tuesday and it's 2 o'clock, so that means it's time for Top 5 Tuesday. I'm your host from Crate Insider, I'm Kate Dillon, and I am just absolutely thrilled to be here this week. We put out some fun videos in this past week that I'm going to be telling you about. I've got some great products to show you, and we have some fun live giveaways as well. So to kick things off, I wanted to talk about some of the videos that we put out in the last week. So one of them, I had a chance to talk with Keith Patel from High Velocity Heads, and they've been a supporter of Crate Insider since day zero. It was one of the very first manufacturers that we ever worked with, and that, you know, I'm so grateful. They let me be a dealer, you know, for starters. You know, it was totally unproven concept to have a website like this, and they believed in me. They believed in what I was doing, and so, you know, it's just really kind of cool. We talked a little bit in a video, just talking a little bit about what they do. I mean, because the only products of theirs that I sell here at Crate Insider are their carb spacers, but you know, they have a long history of working on intake manifolds and porting and all of that, which of course we don't do on the Crate end, but I know a lot of the people who watch this show, they have engines that are not just Crate engines. So, you know, if you're looking at getting some porting work done, not for Crate engines, but for there's some limited customers out there, you might want to take a look at those guys. And as part of that, one of the giveaways we'll be doing today, because if you're new to the show, we do a couple of live giveaways. We just do a random number drawing based on the comments. So to enter the drawing, all you need to do is drop in a comment. You can say hi, you can drop in a question, you can leave an emoji. I mean, kind of whatever you want to do, just drop in a comment. I always respect people who don't really want to be called out on live video, because I find it irritating to me when I'm watching a live video and they'll be like, hey Kate, you know, I see Kate's here, you know, what do you think? Sometimes I just want to lurk. If you want to lurk, you can lurk, but unfortunately you can't win one of our giveaways. So one of the giveaways we're doing this week is since I'm just talking about High Velocity Heads, I have this HVH High Velocity Heads t-shirt right here, and this happens to be a large. So, you know, this just happens to be the size that I have, and to enter our giveaway, like I said, just drop in a comment and we will be able to see all those comments at the end and do our random number generator thing. The second, another video that we talked about this week, or in this last week, is we looked at Kaiser wheels, and I'm really excited about those. I'm actually going to be getting some in. I've had them on order for a little while. They're so popular, but they do this now. I mean, I love their wheels anyway because they're absolutely beautiful, but now you can do this black inner powder coating and they're just gorgeous. So we did a video with Wade from Kaiser and took a look at those wheels. So you can check out that video, and of course you can check out the wheels. They're just phenomenal. I love how they come in separate pieces too. So if you break one side, you can put a replacement bell on one side because it's got a center section and then, you know, an inner and outer shell basically that can all put together. So that's a pretty slick deal, and that way you're not gonna, if you dent one part of your wheel, it's not junk. You can just replace, you know, part of it. So I think that's really ingenious. And then another video we did, let me get out the part here. I thought it was really cool. I've been working with RaceFan, shortly after they came out. And Jones has I've also worked with Jones Racing products for quite a while. And what's so cool about this is you'll see in the video that we talked to Jones Racing, and Jones came up with their own hub that is meant just for a 3-blade. So you can see we have holes here for a blade, holes here for a blade, holes here for a blade. And just a spoiler alert, we'll be talking about RaceFan in a little while, but what I think is so cool is when you have two companies that collaborate together on a product. I just think that is phenomenal. So Jones wanted, you know, part of this on their own, but they worked with RaceFan. As you can see, RaceFan, it's not like they just stole the idea, which you see a lot of times in racing where somebody has a great idea and then another company just like copies it or rips it off. In this case, they worked together and it's a collaboration. How cool is that? I just honestly think that is one of the coolest things that I've heard for a long time. And these RaceFan blades, this hub will work with any of the blades. And then here we go. All you need to do is just slide them in here. And of course, you're gonna bolt them in. I mean, I do these little demos all the time. just to show how these things work together, just like that. So there's our 3 blades. So you can order this from us as a 15-inch, 17-inch, or a 19-inch 3-blade fan, and this way it's just locked in. It's always going to be a 3-blade. And then we've got, you know, all these holes, mounting holes, and I think this is I don't have a ruler out here or a tape measure. I was going to check out the hole size and the diameter of the hole size in the center, but we might even have that on the website. So that's our Jones Erase fan, and I'm not sure, we haven't written down the price here, but we'll just leave a link in here to our Jones products and you'll be able to see that. But also, in the spirit of our giveaways, I have a great giveaway from Jones. I know it's cold in some areas, or, you know, some days, I live in North Carolina. Some days it's 70, and then the next day it can snow, so we just don't know. But I have this really cool Jones beanie cap here. I was super tempted to keep it for myself, but I decided to give it away to my audience. So the Jones hat will be the other giveaway we're going to give away today. So again, all you need to do is just drop in a comment and you'll just be automatically entered. And at the end, let's say we have 100 comments, I bring up random number generator, it pops out a number, and then I've got Alex in the office helping me out with that too. So with that, before we jump into the top 5, I'm just going to go ahead and take a look at the comments, and if anybody has any questions, always feel free to drop in a question. I'm always happy to answer any of the questions that we have on Top 5 Tuesday. So I see a lot of highs and a lot of familiar names and faces here. So I've got Mike and Storm and Bill and Doug. I mean, thank you all for coming back week after week. Shannon says everyone likes a shirt, that's for sure. And Terry says, hey, good morning, Miss Kate, lurking here. But he's not lurking, he's actually dropping in a comment. And Bill says dropping in a comment. You guys are hilarious. I love it. Great. I just want to make sure if there's any questions, I definitely try to answer these. So with that, let's go ahead and drop into top 5. And this top 5 is based on all of our sales in February. Usually I do it week to week, but kind of once a month I like to bring together like what are the best products for the month. And is it hard to believe that next week we're going to be into March already, which is just shocking to me. But in the number 5 spot this week, I already mentioned that it was kind of a spoiler alert a little bit, but it is our 3-blade race fan. And we can even compare these because I dropped a blade. So here's our race fan hub. They're both very similar, just, you know, the machining is just slightly different, and of course you've got a different color. The difference between these is a Jones hub. Actually, it feels a little bit lighter. I don't know, I'd have to get out, I've got a scale around here someplace. They might be the same, it's hard to say, but it might be a little bit lighter. But this one will only do 3 blades. It'll always do 3 blades. Whereas with the race fan, we can go with 2 blades, 3 blades, 4 blades, or 6 blades. So you saw the 3-blade version, and then with the race fan here, the hub, I'll show you a 2-blade version right here. So then, of course, now we have a 2-blade fan, and then we'd be able to add 2 more on the other sides to get 4 blades if that's what we wanted to do, or we could do the 3-blade configuration like what you saw. Sometimes that can be confusing to put those blades on, so I like how the Jones, I like them both, obviously, so I sell them both, I love them both. But that 3-blade race fan, it runs $217.50. Now we also have it in the 15-inch, the 17-inch, or the 19-inch. You can choose from any of them, but the 17-inch happens to be the most popular right now. All right, next up in the number 4 spot is always a fan favorite of mine. Oh, and I meant to show carb spacer. So look at that, carb spacer. There we go. This one happens to be, I'm pretty sure this is our 604 carb spacer. It's a 5/8 inch thick. That's been about the perfect height we found. A lot of your 604 rules will say you can have up to a 1-inch spacer, but we found like the best power, both power and torque, with a 5/8 inch spacer. So I did mean to show that a little bit earlier, but I guess I got stuck on the t-shirt. So back to the number 4 spot this week is spark plug wires. So, you know, a really good maintenance thing, even if you have spark plug wires from last year, it really is one of those things you want to change out on a yearly basis. Just because. I mean, just to get the best performance, you definitely don't want to be slowed down or have a bad night due to a spark plug wire. So it's just one of those really good practices to replace those from year to year. And this happens to be one of my favorites, which would be the fast fire wire. And this comes with all 8 of the wires. They're all marked per cylinder, and it comes with a coil wire as well. So if you've got a 602 and you're running an HEI distributor, yeah, you don't need the coil wire. You'll have like extra pieces. But for anybody who's running a regular billet outlet distributor like an MSD or a Fast, it's going to have these 90-degree plugs right here so that it can go right onto your distributor, and they're perfectly sized for that under header design, and they're also heat safe to a really high number that I can never remember when I'm on live video. So, but the Fast Firewire, these run $159.99. Definitely one of our best sellers, and it's one of those things too that people buy them, they love them, they buy them again, you know, from year to year. So I know that I can be confident in that this is a very well performing product. So that's what we have in the number 4 spot. All right, number 3 spot. A few weeks ago, we came out with a video talking about matched valve springs, and that was with my friend engine builder Don Blackshear from Pace Performance. And I know they sell matched valve springs, we sell matched valve springs, and especially the 602 matched valve springs. We just see a lot of variation in the menu, you know, from spring to spring. And you can watch that video and check out what Don has to say about it, because I'm certainly not an expert, I'm not an engine builder, so I just try to make sure that I talk to some really smart people, and Don has been doing engines for years and years and years, so I definitely trust his judgment when it comes to things. And then of course we've got a lot of happy customers running the 602 matched valve springs. Now these are completely legal, they're absolutely legal because they're legitimately GM valve springs, exactly what they are. It's just we go through, you know, dozens or hundreds of them at a time and rate them individually, and we get rid of the bad ones and then we put together the match sets. So really good way to go, the 602 matched valve springs, and these run $109.75. So really hot seller here in the number 3 spot. All right, next up in the number 2 spot is obviously everybody's trying to get the best air. You want to get the best air into your engine, the coolest, cleanest, all of that. And this is our Crate Insider flat air filter lid. So this is the flat lid. It actually is the accompaniment to our flat air filter base, which I'm just going to spoiler alert is the number 1 product of the month here. So our Crate Insider flat air filter base in number 1 and the lid in number 2. And so the base runs $99.50. It does come with a seal. It comes in with a 1/2-inch seal that will be able to let you, it'll slide onto here, and then it has a rubberized part that'll go ahead and right onto the top of your carburetor right there. And then this lid works perfectly with it. So the base runs $99.50 and the lid runs $68.50. So that is our top 5 for February. But I'm gonna jump into these comments here and see if I can answer any questions. We'll go ahead and get my, I'm gonna get my random number generator up here, so I can start doing some giveaways. I love giving away stuff here.
We got 2 for the sign too.
Ooh, and there's a couple people for my sign. So if you know what my sign said last week, go ahead and drop that in. I'll do that as the last drawing, and we're gonna give away a Crate Insider sling grip, which is my little phone mounts right here. This elastic. Mine's a little dirty now. It's kind of worn, but a good little test. I think I've had these for, I don't know, how long have we had these? About a year, do you think, Alex?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, probably about a year. I mean, it's amazing how it's lasted so well. So we've got lots of comments, and we're gonna go ahead and get some numbers going here. And I just need a note. And Alex is in the office here to help me, and he will get me some winners here. And what we'll do is just send these products out to you. All right, here we go. So there's a couple numbers there for you, Alex. All right, and I'm gonna see any kind of questions you guys have in here. Let's see, nice hat. That hat would be sweet here in Minnesota. I actually grew up in Minnesota, so yes, I understand. Is that hat one size fits all? My crew guy has a big head. That's great. I think so. It's elastic, so these aren't, I don't think it has a size. I think it's just a one size fits all, or one size fits most. I mean, my goodness. Yeah, I don't know, 100% turbo acrylic. So we even have speed in our hats. We've got turbo built into our hat here. And Kate has lots of fans. Okay, so our first winner of our High Velocity Heads t-shirt is Jay Turner Jr. So let me go ahead and write down your name here. So Jay, if you would, please send me a private message with your address so we can get that sent out to you. And then for that Jones hat, it looks like Kyle Lott. Kyle, you are the winner of our Jones hat. And then I've got one more here for our sling grip here. And let's find out who wins the sling grip. I think Alex has that up on the deal there. He'll help that out. I'm just going to see. There we go. Richard Cecil. So Richard, you are the winner of the sling grip for knowing what my sign said last week. I'm going to write down your name. So Kyle and Richard, please send me a private message with your address. I'll get those sent out. And I'm just going to see if there are any other questions that I can answer here. Let's see, Billy asked if I have a 2-barrel base. I do not have a 2-barrel air filter base. We've been working on that, trying to find something that's gonna work with the choke horn for those 4412 carburetors. Just haven't come up with the right solution quite yet. So we are still working on something like that. Let's see here, what else we got? A lot of people know the sign. Package part number for filter and base and lid. I don't have it those three. I have it filter, or I have it where it's the filter, I have the base, I have the lid, I have the air cleaner stud and a cold air box. And that one is called CI-AF KIT, as in air filter kit. It's what super original around here, you know. But otherwise, the air filter base is CI-1510. The lid is CI-1512. And then the Walker filter has a really long part number, so it's like WP, and it's like 3000 something or another. So just look up 4-inch filter is what I usually look for there. Let's see. When you do your 2020 Hendron engines recommendations, can you include thoughts on indexing spark plugs and grounding heads? Yeah, I mean, we definitely have indexing spark plugs is something we've talked about before, not on the 2020 recommendations, but that's a great thing there. And I have not heard the suggestion for grounding heads, so that's a new one, and we'll take a look at that for sure. Okay, great. All right, well, it looks like I've kind of got all the questions. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for being part of Top 5 Tuesday. I really look forward to seeing you guys next week on Tuesday. In the meantime, I hope you have a fabulous week, and I'll see you then.